How are you, students? Here are your results for the second period. Somebody asked me to zoom in so that you are able to see what I'm explaining, but unfortunately, the software doesn't allow me to zoom my screen. Okay, so but I will try to mention or explain every item that I'm going to present. When I put my arrow on that specific item, I will say the name of that item on the screen. Okay, so but here are your results for the second period. Thank you for those who submitted their planning tools. But again, I must warn you now at the beginning of this video, if you guys are not bringing your part, it's difficult for me to actually also bring my part to assist you, especially that it's not like the whole time I have in a week is just for simulations. Okay, I'm teaching other I'm responsible for other 3 courses, which is systems thinking and consumer behavior, distance students, and also SYD, sustainable and development. I'm also responsible for those courses, and they also need my attention. Okay, all I'm asking from you guys is to take 3 minutes, 30 minutes out of the whole week, just 30 minutes. Okay, I just need, whether on the phone or live session, it could be a WhatsApp video call, so that I can explain what you must do. Okay, and then when I explain to one team, that even just 3-4 members of the team, then they will be able to go and lead others in the team. So you don't have to wait until you are 10 members for you to have a live session. Okay, so those who are committed, they can create a Zoom or team meeting. Even now, Zoom is fine because it's not going to take long for me to explain what you have to do. Because with the planning tool, everything is already there. You just have to adjust the decision. That's why you don't have to use a new planning tool every time you start a new period, because you are giving yourself a lot of work. Every time you submit the planning tool, and you must have a central person who must be submitting the planning tool, so that your planning tool will have your decision from the first period up to the last period. Now, if you today submit a different planning tool, next time you submit a different one. So each of those planning tools that you are going to submit will only have information for that specific period. But the idea is for the planning tool to carry all the decisions of all the periods. Okay, it's just please a plea. Please, this week, I don't want you guys to come to me during the weekend and try say we need a live session because you are stuck, because you only want to work on the stuff during the weekend. Please sacrifice 30 minutes in the middle of the week, and I will make it clear from now on, I will not assist students during weekends. No. Okay, if you miss your chance during the week, don't even bother to ask me during the weekend. Please, you have all the time during the week. Try to get just 30 minutes out of 4 days or 5 days just to consult me. Okay, whether you are 2 members or 5 members or 3 members or 10 members if possible. Okay, so I will explain to the members available, and those members must go and lead their group. Okay, I don't mean when you come to me, then we must make final decision. No, I will take you through the process of how to make the decisions, and you can go and explain to the other team members who were not part of the live session. Please, you guys are not the only group. There are other groups that I'm dealing with, and those other groups are active, but some of you guys, even decide to submit the old information from period 1. What kind of laziness is that? Yeah, that shows your commitment to your studies. Okay, and if you fail, you blame yourself. Okay, you can fail simulation, and if you fail simulation, unfortunately, you will not be able to pass ICE. And you have to think of your course fees that you have to pay when you have to register for this course again. But please bring your part, I will bring mine. From now on, no assistance during weekends. I will assist, I will be open to assist from any day from Monday to Friday. Friday evening is fine, but Saturdays, no. Okay. So, by the way, these are your results for period 2. These are your prices. We still have one tech leader in the market and 4 other course leaders. Okay, as you can see, companies increase their prices because the market was going up. That's good, but just make sure that if you have to skyrocket your price, like period 4 here, I mean company 4 here, so you have to make sure that your quality is really good. Otherwise, you will not be able to sell a lot of stuff, and if you are not able to sell, you are likely to make a loss because you did not generate enough sales. Okay, it's in short, it's fine to increase your price when the market is going up, but also make sure that you adjust your R&D budget to make sure that as your price increases, there are some improvements done on the products. Okay, you can't sell the same old units at at an adjusted increased price. It doesn't make a business sense. Maybe you can do that in cases of monopoly or where there's a crisis and the availability of products is limited. So now, given that you adjusted your price like this, we expect you guys to offer the best quality in the market. And remember, market is the outcome of your R&D investment. Okay, which means if you want to offer best quality, it means you have to invest in R&D. And quality, in this case, again, I'm repeating, it's not about how durable your surfboard is, but it's more about what extra features, the attractiveness of your products, the extra features that you offer that others don't offer, is what translates into high quality in this case of simulation. Let's see, this guy's charging the same price. Some copycat there, don't know who's copying who, but maybe it's a coincidence. The cheapest company in the market is company 2. We expect these guys to be the lowest quality in the market. If they are lowest quality, they can still sell because they are also the cheapest. Okay, then you have R&D investment in the current period. This is how you guys invested. Okay, still a lot of money in the first video. When I gave you guys the results, I told you don't invest as much as you invested in the first period, because then it's too much money, that you are putting aside. Okay, business is not just about spending money; it's about spending money reasonably. Okay, don't overspend. If you overspend, it means these are your profits that you are spending, because when you increase your expenses, when you increase your costs, then it means you are forced to charge more. And if you don't charge more, you will sell at a loss price. Okay? And if you charge too much, customers might say, hey, it's too much price for surfboard, especially for cost leader, or 600 for tech leader is too much for now. The quality doesn't deserve, that price. Yeah. So improve your quality gradually, not, just rapidly like that. Otherwise, it's going to cost you a lot of money that you need also to spend in other areas of your business, like paying your rent, paying your workers, and so on. Obviously, if you happen not to sell, the system gives you overdraft to be able to finish your production. and pay your expenses. But you are also charged a lot, 7% on overdraft. Okay, to avoid overdraft, also avoid spending a lot. Good investment from company two, you guys cheapest, but also investing less in R&D. That means this is very good because you are not, you are cost leaders. Your strategy is not concerned with offering a high-tech quality products. So you want to just offer a basic product and sell it for cheap and be able to target a lot of people. So the customers will not look at exactly how much you invested. They don't have access to this information, but they do have access to technology index. The technology index is the accumulation of your R&D budget, which means the index is the accumulation of what you invested in period one plus what you invested in period two. So in this case, in period two, company five invested the highest, 23,000, only 3,000 compared to team three, but the price, very big gap there. So that says a lot. Customers might be more interested in their products because they might be offering the best quality as well, but for the price of only 460. But you guys, 600, that's about 140 difference. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying. So the customers will be interested more in tech index. The index is the accumulation of your R&D budget. Period one plus period two, it gives you this index, and this is the index printed on the surfboard. This is where customers actually look at whether they are getting quality for their money. Okay, so the highest quality goes to company number five. That's good, followed by company number three and company number five. But you guys, you are a little bit down compared to these guys. But if you can remember well, your prices are the same, but your quality is a little bit lower here. So you will be the customers will have a little bit issue with your products because they can either go and buy from here for cheap for 20 if they want a cheaper product. But if they want a little bit much above standard product, they are likely to go to these two guys because they are sharing the same price with you, but their quality is a little bit higher. So you can see you are in a little bit of a dilemma. Otherwise, you must really market a lot so that customers hear your company more and don't hear of this guy's company more. Okay, but for tech leaders, you are fine. But for the 600 price, your quality was supposed to be better than this. So it's not the issue with quality, but it's the issue with your pricing. It was too much. Okay? Don't try to increase your price just like that. Even when you go to the shop, if they are increasing price of bread or of a car, they don't increase with too much money. They look at affordability and demand in the market. You are not a monopoly to just decide whatever price you want. Okay. So the next section I want to explain is the utilization of the production line. How did you make use of your machine? Some of you guys bought machines that you did not need. In the previous period, I explained only buy another machine if your production line load is in red. Okay, but some of you guys still ordered a third machine when you did not need it. And you can see how did you make use of your machines. The company that made their machines work more is company number 4, because you guys are tech leaders. You only have one machine, and you made that one machine to produce 160 out of 180 that the machine is able to produce. So which means only 20% units could be produced to make this machine work 100%. But 60% for these two companies, it's not so bad. It's probably because you might have bought a second machine that you did not need. Otherwise, no one is making their machines work below 50%, and that's recommendable. But when you have a chance to make your machines work more, make your machines work more. Because if your machines don't work, it means your production costs will also go a little bit up. Okay. And the next section is staff utilization. Those are the key decisions that influence your sales, your performance. Those decisions that I'm explaining. Okay? Staff utilization. This is the decision on how to make your workers work. Okay. As you can see, these two companies made their workers work 100%. Company number 1 and company number 3. Staff utilization, there is 100%, which means every full-time worker they hired or they made use of in their company made maximum 8 units. But team 4, you guys already had 2 workers, I believe, and I think you hired another additional full-time. I don't know why you had to hire, because 160 was exactly enough for 2 workers, because each worker is able to make 8 units. You could have made your old 2 workers, they could have worked 100%. It could be a different story. You could have saved a lot of money. Now you hired a 3rd person who is going to do almost nothing, and you pay that person 10,000 euros. Okay? That's how much you wasted money. If you make a huge loss, those are some of the expenses that you incurred that you were not supposed to incur. Otherwise, 90%, 92% recommendable. It's not always that you are able to make use of your workers 100%. Okay, and obviously, my advice: if you can make your workers work more, make them work more. You must look into possibilities of making use of temporary workers if your full-time workers are not working a lot. Okay, and obviously, if you make your machines and your workers work more, your costs of goods manufactured will go down. You can see these guys who made their machines and their workers work more. You can see how lower their costs are. But for the tech leaders here, your costs are quite, wow, it's a lot. It's costing you 332 just to produce a plain surfboard without adding R&D costs and marketing costs. That's quite a lot. But the company that managed to produce their surfboard for the cheapest is company number 2, only producing their surfboard at 266.11 cents. Okay. So the next section is awareness. I'm done with cost of goods. So it's good. The idea here is to keep your cost of production down, so that you will be able to make a good profit margin. Okay? Because if your cost of production is a lot, then you will not be able to charge less. Otherwise, you have to charge more. And if you charge more, it means you are likely to chase away some customers because they will not be able to afford your product. Okay. And the next section, the decision that you have to make to influence your performance. That next decision is communication budget, your awareness budget, your sales, promotion, and advertising expenses. So this is how you actually invested. The highest investments from this time period 2 is coming from company number 1. These guys invested a whooping 16,000 euros, followed by company number 2 at 14,375. Company number 3, you guys invested, it's company number, company number 3. Actually, the highest investors are team 5 at 16,000, followed by company number 1 at 14,370, followed by company number 3 at 12,500, and company number 2 at 12,213. Team 4, you guys were a little bit stingy here. You spent so much on R&D, but awareness was just not so. up to standards, especially that these guys now invested a lot. It will influence your decision here or your performance in this area big time. But I don't expect you guys to have same awareness as course leaders, because you are also not selling as much as they are selling. They expect to sell more because their target market or their market share is quite a lot. But maybe 8,000 you could have done better, especially for the second period. But in the future, 8,000 will not be maybe too bad, especially from period 4 going up. But when awareness is needed, if you see you cannot sell your products in the shop, it means customers either don't want to pay your price or they just did not hear you exist. You have to, maybe all they are not interested in the quality of your products. You have to fix those three decisions: price, awareness, and quality. They help you to sell. Okay, so given that you invested this much, it does not necessarily mean these guys will have the highest awareness. It depends on how much they invested in the first period, because awareness is also accumulating. The system will take what you invested previously plus what you are investing in current period and determine your awareness level. Okay, this is your awareness here. At least here I can zoom with the report. Okay, those who said I must zoom. Okay, so here is your awareness. The highest known is company number 1. You guys are known 35%. Same awareness as company number 5. The least known company is company number 4 at 25%. Company number 3, you are 33% known. And company number 1, you are 31% known. What does that mean? Company number 2, 4% of customers who know company 1, they don't know about you. So even though you have the cheapest price in the market, so these guys also have a chance to sell more because they have created enough awareness. Okay? Same as company 5. So company number 4, 10% of customers who know company number 5 and company number 1, they have never heard of your company. Maybe you have to negotiate as a team on how you can improve this awareness budget. Okay, so that's how you guys are known. Let's go back to the graphs. The next is sales. Sales just means how many units you manage to sell. Okay, remember when you forecast your sales using the planning tool, deciding how many units you expect to sell in your shop, it's not obvious that, or it's not guaranteed that you will sell all that number of units. It's just an estimation, okay, which is based on how many units you sold in the previous period. And it can be influenced by the price that you decide to charge in that specific period, and what quality you offer to the customers that specific period, and how well did you create awareness in that specific period. Okay, even if you had a high demand in the first period, if you meander with these decisions, these 3 decisions I'm referring to, the price, awareness, and quality, your demand could still go down. Okay, but if you offer what the customers expect, or if you convince customers that your stuffs are of quality, they will be able to buy. So now, given that your awareness was a little bit improved, your sales are also improved. As you can see, this time company number 1 sold 263, but their potential sales was only 250. So your demand for this period was 250, but you managed to sell 13 units more, which means you managed to sell in total to 63, which means one company in your market did not produce enough, and they attracted some customers, but they could not serve them, and they referred them to your shop. Okay, so that's why I said influence of one company can have an impact on the other teams. Like one company did not produce enough, it means then um, some companies will have to get extra customers and make extra money. Okay, company two, you guys sold to 248. You sold 248, but you were supposed to sell 255. So you gave away customers, because your demand was more, but because you did not produce enough, so you could only sell 248, but you could have sold 255. Okay, but because you did not produce enough, you gave some customers away. Okay. Team number 3, you guys sold 264 units. Your potential was 251. You also benefited from the company that did not produce enough goods. I don't know who's giving away their customers. You guys were supposed only to sell 251, but you ended up selling a little bit more, 264. I think you got also about 13 customers extra to come and buy from your shop. Company number 4, with your price of 600, you managed to sell 215. I mean 115. I'm sorry, you managed to sell 115 surfboards, but you were only supposed to sell 110 because someone did not produce enough. You got extra 5 because your price was not a lot. I mean, because your awareness was not a lot and your price was very high, you got few customers compared to the cost leaders. And company 5, you're supposed to sell 263 units. You managed to sell 232 only. So you were also the company that was giving away customers because you only managed to sell 231, but you could have sold actually 263. That means it's either you did not produce enough. That's why customers came, but they didn't find units. So let's look at the next section is the units in stock. Who still have some units left in the shop? It's company number 4. You have a lot of units in your shop. You have 52 units that you could not sell in the past 6 months. That means really customers were not so happy with your price and you did not create enough awareness. Okay? The price was a lot, okay? But if you decide to reduce your price, obviously it must not be less than what you charged in the first period. But you can see here, if you reduce, you will be able to sell out these extra units in the second period. I mean in the third period. 19 units for company number 3. You could have had more. Lucky enough, you got some customers as well. And you guys could have had more. You have 7 only, but you gained some extra customers as well. So these 2 companies blessed you with some customers because they did not produce enough. It means now they've sold out. They have nothing left in the shops. And obviously, the next section is quality of planning. Quality of planning again determines how well did you match your production volumes with your marketing awareness, which means if you produce more, you must also, market more so that you create more awareness to be able to actually attract enough people to come and buy a lot that you produce. And obviously, you guys got 94% planning quality, almost 100%. That means you match very well your production volumes versus your awareness. You could have gotten maybe more if you could have produced enough. The fact that you gave away customers, system could not give you 100%. It means also your price was fair for the quality of the goods. The price of 442 was actually good for the technology index that you offered the customers. But team 4 here, you guys only got 32%. You know already the story. You can't skyrocket your price. I think last time you charged 530. and you skyrocketed to 600. That's about 70 euros increase. Okay, adjust your price, but maybe 20, 15 euros, 30 euros if the quality is really good. So it makes a difference. But what I will advise you guys to do is you don't have to reduce your price too much. You can keep it somewhere there, around there at the top, but keep on improving the quality of the product so that customers will at least start to appreciate, to pay a lot if the quality of the products are well improved. Okay, otherwise, the next section here, my advice, if you want to get an improved quality of planning, make sure you don't overcharge customers. Make sure price goes with the quality and increase in proportion, and make sure you don't overproduce. If you produce too much, especially these guys, they have too much stock. If you have too much stock in your shop at the end of the period, system will punish you because you have wasted so much resources to invest in those units that you could not sell in a given time frame. Okay. The next section, obviously, as a moment of truth, is the prophets. Who made profit this time and who made losses. Okay. So the highest loss goes to company number 4 because of that decision. The idea of the simulation is to see how the decisions that you guys make influence your company's performance, and how decisions of other companies of the competition shape the performance of your company as well. As you can see here, because these guys also improved their quality so well, the quality between your products and those of the cost leaders, there was not so much big difference. If I go back to technology index, you can see the difference was not so much. So which means because the difference in quality was not so much, but there was a big difference in pricing. So that means now customers were interested to buy more from these other companies than to buy from your shop. And you made a loss because you could not sell most of your goods. Maybe if you could sell those 57 units that you still have in your shop, you could not have a big loss like this. But because of the forces of the market and the decisions you make to charge more, resulted in this huge loss. But the winners of this period is company number 1. You guys made a profit of 6,260 in period 2. That's very good. Followed by company number 2. Even with the lowest price, they still managed to make 4,010 euros. If you guys could not have given away your customers, you could be the winners maybe this time. But remember, you blessed these guys with customers because actually these two, because you guys sold out. Okay? But company 3, you made a slight loss of minus 3,070 euros. But you can see it's a big improvement. If you compare these losses to the losses you made in the previous period, the losses now are a little bit lower as compared to the losses for the first period. So that means good progress. You didn't make profit, but there's progress. So you are cutting on the losses. Probably in the next period, if you plan well, you will be able to break even and start making a profit. Okay? So that was the results, accumulated results, your accumulated profit from the first period. If we end now, these guys will take overall winners position, followed by company 2. These guys will come third. These guys will come fourth. And remember, at the end of period 6, we are going to look at the accumulated results. There are marks allocated for the winners. The top 3 companies will get marks. The last 2 companies get nothing. Okay, it's actually 3 marks. It's a lot. It's 3, but it's a lot. They account for a lot of percentage. Okay, which means these guys will get more marks, then the first company will get more marks than the second company. Second company get more than the third company. Third company gets more than these two companies get zero. Okay, good. Make sure you work period 6. There are marks to be allocated to the top 3 companies. If you want your team to benefit, make sure your company comes in the top 3. Okay, so please, again, I will just advise you guys, please, I know it's a long video to watch, but you take 30 minutes to watch the video, because if you don't watch the results, it's difficult for you to make informed decision in the next period, which is period 3. Okay, please watch the video. I saw on the YouTube majority of the students did not watch the video. That's why they could not contribute to their teams, because they didn't have clue what is happening. But if you watch the results, you will be able to actually contribute, understand, and contribute to your team. I will share this this video on YouTube, because I can't share it on WhatsApp. It's long video, and I didn't want you guys to watch the results in parts. I want you to watch as in one piece. That's why I recorded this. It will be 38 minutes video, but take time, watch on YouTube. I will share it on my YouTube channel, and I will share the link to your groups. Okay, and please, I will share the link to the main group, and each team members are responsible to share to their team, so that their colleagues who might not have seen it on the main group can also have access to the videos. Please watch the results. If you don't watch the results, you will not be able to make better decision for the next period. Sharp. Thank you very much.